Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to my channel. Today's recipe is a chicken lasagna made with spaghetti squash instead of lasagna noodles. The first thing you're going to do is take 4 cloves of garlic, mince it up, and then you're going to fry it in around 1.5 tablespoons of oil. Once your garlic is fried, you're going to take 1 medium-sized breast piece and cut them into slices and then throw them into the pan with the garlic and a little bit of salt. I use salt and onion powder just to give it a little bit of an onion taste. If you want to use actual onions, you'll use around 1/4 of a medium-sized onion and fry it in with the garlic before adding the chicken. If you like to use onion powder, you will only use around 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. Now, as your chicken cooks, make sure to just keep on mincing the chicken. The reason why I use breast chicken instead of ground chicken is because I wanted it to be a little bit bigger so that when you are eating it, you can actually feel like you're eating some chicken and it doesn't get diluted into the sauce. So over here, I'm just taking it out of the pan and mincing it a little bit and then throwing it back in to cook it a little bit more. Once your chicken is fully cooked, then you're going to put around 2 cups of tomato sauce in it. I personally like tomato basil sauce, pasta sauce. Now, because I'm trying to make a easy recipe, I use store-bought tomato sauce for this. I added a little bit of water, so it's around 1/4 cup of water to just make the sauce a little bit thinner than it was already. Now your next step is that you're going to take your spaghetti squash and cut it in half. We will not be using the whole spaghetti squash, we will be only using 1/2 of it. A faster way to bake this would be to cut it into circles instead of cutting it into halves and then baking it. It takes longer when you do it that way. If you cut it into thin slices like this, then it only takes around 25 minutes to bake. Now put it on a pan, drizzle it with some olive oil and salt and pepper. I did add a little bit of garlic powder as well, because just to give it another garlicky taste. That is the optional part. Once you have it fully seasoned, then just cover it with some foil and put it in the oven for 350 for around 25 minutes. So for this recipe, I use 3 different types of cheese. I use pepper jack, sharp cheddar, and mozzarella. If you don't have 3 different types of cheese and you just have mozzarella will do the job. Just make sure you throw some Parmesan on top of it to give it another cheesy taste. Now since these were blocks, I decided to cut them down and put them in my blender and shred them to smaller pieces. And we'll be using this when we're assembling the lasagna. When your spaghetti squash is fully cooked, it will be able to come off looking like spaghetti. Once you get that part out, you're just going to start layering your lasagna. So it'll be spaghetti squash first, some chicken sauce, and a little bit of cheese on top of that. I added some extra sauce because I wanted it to be a little bit more saucy than dry. But that part is not necessary. Once you're done layering it, you're going to put it into your oven on 350 degrees for around 30 minutes. Make sure to put another tray underneath so that if there is any extra drippage, it gets caught and your oven does not start burning. If you like this recipe, subscribe to my channel and wait for more recipes just like this.